So, Golden Heroes, the Murgatroyd campaign, session 0. You mad fools, but thank you very much for taking the plunge. I suppose the first thing, well, for all three of you, because Chris hasn't played it for many, many years, where would you like me to start in terms of explanations of the system? Do you want to start with characters and stats and that sort of thing?
Well, I think we've already got pre-generated characters, so there's not really an issue that way, I would have thought.
In terms of defining what you can or can't do with certain powers, anything like that? Such as dexterity is your ability to strike in combat. It's not necessarily whether you can juggle. It's a measure of whether you can class yourself as a highly accomplished hand-to-hand combatant, or indeed the use of missile weaponry. It adds to either hand-to-hand or missile attacks. Are you all right with the 2 hit point categories?
We're running. Sorry, Mike's arriving.
Oh, has he arrived?
He's here. He's climbing up the stairs. God. You're late.
You're on tape, so don't scream at the usual obscenity, sir.
It was really high. Oh, okay. Well, as Jay said, he may have to.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, no swearing. We're being recorded.
All right, okay.
I'm sure it won't make much difference.
I shan't swear anyway. I don't swear. I'm a fine, upstanding.
And for the benefit of viewers at home, he is standing up.
Heathens, are they, Mary? Hi, Chris.
He's frozen for a second.
Hello there.
So that's
Good to meet you.
Virtually.
I couldn't help bringing this, Jim. It came in my cracker, and it's a pirate.
Nope, another frozen moment.
Frozen.
Yeah. We'll wait for you, chaps.
We were delayed by surgery. So I've got my stats with me.
Okie dokie. Is there
What's the
anything
maximum you can get in dexterity anyway? What is the maximum?
Strictly speaking, there isn't.
All the essentials. And a banana.
There is an example character in the supervisor's book who has a dexterity score of 21.
Right.
Which presumably comes from a high dice roll plus previous training, which obviously can increase your stats by a +2 modifier. And it could also be a result of campaign play, which would probably take several months, but you could allocate what are known as your daily utility phases, which I'm not going to go into tonight because it does get rather complicated. But in a campaign, you can tell me what your characters are doing on their off days. And one of those things could well be to increase stats, but it's a long
process. Yeah.
Oh, you're frozen.
Yeah. I
wasn't a pause for dramatic effect.
In the downtime, I might be able to split my time between sort of computer skills and martial arts training. Would that, would that sort of be the sort of thing that you could do?
If you tell me what it is you want to achieve as an end result, because obviously the basis of your character with the computer skills is that she has basically got cyber telepathy, as well as having normal telepathy.
I'd like to learn.
So she can access computers.
I'd like to learn to Skype.
I'm getting a bit of a broken signal from your end, Jim. I'm sorry.
All right, okay, no.
So,
No.
It might be
for instance, go on, sorry.
there's very heavy rain here. No,
That'll be it then.
it does affect it, doesn't it?
No, it can do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just wait till the fireworks start going off round here.
Yeah, I can hear some here.
No, of course, it's special.
Just a housekeeping matter.
No, you've gone again.
Yeah.
On my Amazon Fire. Are you still there, by the way? Can you hear
That is
me?
pretty bad at the minute.
All right, yeah. It's no point, is there? All right, I'll just listen.
Go on, try and repeat what you just said, Mike.
I was just thinking that I might be able to Skype using my Amazon Fire Stick if I put that app on my TV.
Blimey.
But then we've got a 5-way split instead of a 4-way split.
Won't add that much difference to the system.
Okay, all right.
And yeah,
I mean, the alternative. I mean, I'd be much. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
or you can have it just on speaker.
Yeah. All right, and we can do it like that. Yeah.
Right,
No.
just
No.
switch-
Yeah. Yeah. It's
just
nice
switch-
to see everybody up.
It just
a bit
switches
bigger,
around
isn't
to
it?
whoever's talking.
It's quite cool. I like that. So, Mike, I was just. Oh, you appear to have frozen again. I don't know whether you can hear me.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Yeah. So off and on.
Go back to the full screen, Jim. It's much.
Else about the character sheets that you need explaining.
I know the differences between hit to kill, hit coma, and hit to kill. But how do you actually define it? I mean, are you taking both of those?
Right. Basically, every attack that I can think of, with the possible exception of psionics and magic, has to have a hits to kill component and a hits to coma component. I suppose they're trying to reflect realism in the sense that you can club somebody for ages and eventually they'll die, but they'll probably fall unconscious before they actually die. So for everything on your attack section, you will see that there is a 1d6 or a 2d6 hits to HTK, hits to kill, and there'll be another dice roll for hits to coma. So it only really matters against superpowered individuals in this game, but everyone that hits you and everyone that you hit, you'll be rolling two separate dice results affect their individual HTK and HTC. And of course, you can have different modifiers, damage dividers as they're called, which will reduce damage that you take. And some effects hits to coma more than hits to kill, and vice versa. So if somebody's got a defense class 5 bulletproof suit, you'll instantly have a 2 damage divider for hits to kill. So everything that you receive in HTK is halved, and you'll find that you don't get a hits to kill divider. So a punch will, slam you for as much as the strength, but you won't take as much killing damage from it. And I don't think there's too much in the way of armor for most of you. But that's what you're looking at. If you've got a damage divider, it tells you the number. Any damage you receive is divided by that number before you actually take it. Okie dokie. Anything else that you need to understand about your characters or your powers?
Lots.
I think probably the best thing to do is just play it and hopefully rely on your knowledge. Because I have to admit, to me, it sounds like a lot of waffle. But I've said the same thing to Simon when he did the game way back in the 80s. So
yeah, like a little pub punch up.
Yeah,
might be a good thing to do. Just
Right then. So what I've done is looked at your characters, and I've tried to pair you up in a way that is almost equal. So I'm pitting Citadel, Chris.
Yeah.
You're teaming with J Shadow. Okay.
Okay.
And then you two are going to be on one side, and we're going to have Mike as Sanctuary and Jim as Stronghold on the other side. I'm hoping it also works out a little bit easier with Mike and Jim being together in the same attic there. So I don't know whether you can see that. It's just a bunch of boxes, but that is the combat chart that I'll be keeping a track of.
Okay.
So each round split up into 4 frames. You can take 1 frame actions. Most of your superpowers will take 2 frames consecutively, and that is called an action. So a round has got 2 actions, 4 frames. Everything you do costs at least 1 frame, sometimes 2. So movement, you can move in 1 frame. Obviously, if you carry on moving, you can take 2 frames, etc. Combat responses are the awkward thing, but most of them are done after an attack is rolled against you to determine if it's successful. If the attack hits you, you have got the option of declaring a combat response. So in some cases it could be a parry. So somebody strong, such as Stronghold in his giant form, you could declare if someone's punching you, you could choose to parry. Somebody else might choose to dodge. That's especially useful if you've got high dexterity, because the bonuses to you, if you've got, say, a dex of 16, you'd have a +1 bonus to strike, and they use that to affect your dodge results. So you've got a better chance of avoiding the blow. But your combat responses use up future frames. So this is what you need to be aware of. And the basic rule of thumb is a combat response uses up the number of frames that the attack uses. So if it's a fist, it uses 1 frame. Most other attacks, including guns, energy blasts, they use an action. So a dodge to an energy blast would take up 2 frames. And just to complicate it even further, you can use up frames from your next round if you wish. So if you get to frame 4 and you get hit with an energy attack, you could dodge and use up 2 frames from the next round, but obviously that impacts your ability to do anything in the next round. But you can go up to your 4 frames, and therefore you will not be able to act in the next round if you have to.
Are you only allowed to go 4 frames, like in credit, if you like, you know?
To be perfectly honest, I don't see why you couldn't keep dodging for as much as 2 frames. It can only go for the current frame and the next frame. But to be perfectly honest, you could get hit by an energy blast in the first 2 frames of round 1. You could dodge, and then if you keep getting hit, you could dodge for the last 2 frames, If somebody else then attacked you, nothing to stop you dodging into the next round. Okay, so a little bit of the Spider-Man's going on in that example, but absolutely nothing to stop you doing that if you're unlucky enough to get hit every time somebody attacks you.
So the four of us are going to have like a punch up with me and Jim against Jay and Chris.
That's right. That is right.
I shall have to go and grab some dice then, because I just realised I've left them in the other room.
No problem at all.
So I missed out on Jay's character and who he is. You haven't told us anything. We've got Shadow. I know he's a shadow.
We've got a name.
He's always been a shadow of a man.
Oh, thank you.
Because of the way things are being kept secret.
Keep him under wraps.
Jay has got a standing character.
Find out what he can do when
I'm being a typical pain in the arse.
It's funny, Chris has gone up. We're all using bad language now.
He doesn't swear much, Chris, actually, when you come to say it. But anyway, so Jim, all that you probably need to know is you've basically got two distinct characters.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got the in literal terms, your human form. He's as acrobatic as Spider-Man. He really is. His dodge modifier, which is +5, is a combination of +1 for not wearing a protective uniform. Everybody would get a +1 if you just wore your lycra tights, basically. But he's got another 4 dodge modifier from his, let me get this right, agility and martial arts. But it means that basically he's very bouncy in that form. It will take him 1 action, so that's 2 frames, to use his growth power. Okay. What they normally mean by doing that is that you don't do any other actions for those 2 frames. So I don't see why I can't allow you to move, but they would say that you wouldn't be able to attack or anything like that whilst you are increasing your size and weight and all the rest of it. But I don't see why you couldn't move. I think that's a bit harsh if you couldn't do that. And then obviously your giant form, without just having it in front of me, the one thing that you need to be aware of, the lifting capacity, you are a Hulk class strength. That's really all I need to say. You are exceedingly strong. You do not have to use your full damage modifier. As you can see on your sheet under the strength stat, you've got a 36 additional damage if you put everything into a punch. But basically you do not need to do that unless you really want to.
Yeah.
And you can pick and choose anything realistically above the normal damage for a punch, which is also listed on your sheet there. You can add 1, you can add 10, whatever you actually feel like doing. If you do add the full 36 to something like hitting a building, that building will fall down.
Okay.
In most circumstances. Okay. Right. Yeah. So I think that is it for you. I don't really think I need to do anything for Mike, explanation wise.
I just want to hit somebody and see what happens.
Yes, of course. I think Chris and Jay are fairly okay. I think I've gone through with yourselves. So, right then.
I'm a Spanish American, by the way, and I'm female. So can't I start a fight with someone and punch them?
An American female probably start a fight in an empty room.
Exactly. And he just touched my butt. I mean, I was walking past him, and he might call himself a shadow, but he's not, because I felt it. Yeah, and he touched my butt. Didn't you? You were there. You saw him, didn't you? Let's see what.
Oh dear.
Marcus.
Oh dear. Right, I better keep that handy, which is difficult because I'm cramped for space.
I'm trying to help. I hope.
He's barely started the Guinness yet.
One thing I have noticed, and I will have to just say this, the initiative table in the book actually makes it easier for people slightly to win an advantage of 4 frames. I might swap that around and make it easier to win an advantage of 1 frame, because a lot of stuff can happen in 4 frames when you're standing there doing nothing. And it would apply the other way around as well. So we'll just start. We'll go with who wants to roll the dice, Jay or Chris?
Chris, go ahead.
Chris, go ahead. What? I should
10-sided dice. Same for one of you two, Jim, Mike. All Somebody right. Roll a 10-sided dice.
4. Okay.
I got 5.
Okie dokie. So this is the way this works. You got the higher dice roll, Jim and Mike. Mm-hmm. You've got a difference of 1 point, mm-hmm. which means that you've got an advantage of 1 frame. Just to quickly say, there's no other individual initiative rolls. It goes on your dexterity score. Sanctuary has got the higher stat, so she will always act in first place in your example. Stronghold, you will act after Sanctuary. Mm-hmm. Because your advantage is an odd number, mm-hmm. you can either use it or you can opt to hold it and use it with your remaining 3. Mm-hmm. Which means that if you hold it, you will actually act all 4 frames. If you decide to use it, number of frames being 1, you could probably do little more than, say, move into combat, something like that. And if I quickly say, 14 meters or yards, doesn't matter which, you're 14 meters apart. It took a while to register that your butt had been felt. And with you both moving in opposite directions, 14 meters apart is where we stand.
Yeah.
So your first option, do you want to hold the frame or do you want to do something with it?
First of all, can I just ask, is it like in the gaming that I've done before, it's been kind of like you build a story so that, in that 14 meters, I can imagine that I was talking with Marcus about the 2 at the bar, about how, I reckon we can take him, and he's going, look, don't start anything. It's too late for that. He touched my butt, right? So I've got 1 frame to go back and punch Shadow firmly in the nose. Yeah.
Okie dokie. So that's your intention. Now,
what's your move per frame?
That's the first thing. You won't be able to cover 14 meters in 1 frame.
I've got flight. I can fly 20 meters.
If you want to show off in the pub by flying. Yeah.
I mean, and that doesn't cost me anything in terms of side points or anything. That's just a skill, isn't it? So
It's just a free power as such, yeah.
I can get to him. I mean, like, my move per frame is 5 meters. I wouldn't get there, right? No. The only way I've had a few drinks, so I'm flying across that bar, literally, to punch him on the nose.
Yeah, that's a very long arm to get 14 meters and punch your bounce.
Sorry?
I've got to have a really long arm to be able to reach 14 meters to pinch your backside.
No, you did it on the way past.
All right.
I'm talking about it for the last 14 meters, about whether, you both look quite handy, to be honest. You know, you both look like you can handle yourself in a fight. So I've been talking with my mate here, Marcus.
You've obviously had too much to drink.
We can actually take you, and we think we can.
Well, you think you can.
And he's like, no, I don't. But I'm a brash American female, so I am going to punch. Right. So I'm just looking. Right now, if I dive into combat, that's from a height, isn't it? That's not flying straight at him.
Yeah. Now your problem here is the actions that you can do in one go. Yeah. You've only got one frame.
Dive into combat takes 3, doesn't it?
I'm afraid it does.
Yeah.
And it takes 3 consecutive.
But one.
So what you can do,
go on.
You can use your one frame advantage to become airborne and close the distance.
Yeah.
Your dive into combat states your minimum. It's the same for all of these different types of dive into, somersault into, leap into. It's a minimum 4 meter move.
Yeah.
So if you position yourself about 5 meters away,
all right. Okay.
Your first frame is going airborne and closing that 9 meter gap, and then you're preparing yourself.
Okay. Well, that's what I will fly.
Yeah.
Till I am 5 meters away from him.
Yes. Absolutely fine by me.
And I will start spitting American invectives at him. I shall leave those to your imagination.
Well, Shadow, you're being insulted by an American tart. Stronghold, your one frame.
One frame.
Hold him back.
Yeah,
hold that back.
So if he moved, he would be short of where he was. Yes.
How far can you move?
No, that's a good question.
5 meters.
5 meters.
Yeah. It's up there.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's running after her.
Yeah. So he's 5 meters behind me. So that's a nice 5 meters distance between all of us.
Okay, then. So jumping to the other team, you will now get the same frame. This is how this will work. They got an advantage of 1. You will now get 1 frame to do yourselves. Same option. You can hold it because it's an odd number. Or you can do something in this 1 frame. Shadow, you get to act first, and then Citadel.
Right, so I have got this enraged American female who is basically calling me all sorts of names under the sun.
Yes, and is flying.
And is flying. I'm going to create a small portal in front of me.
Yes. You one of your one. Yeah, one of your 1 frame things. Yes.
1 frame portal.
Okay.
In front of me, holding it in place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Sanctuary. You see a bit like a heat haze circle appearing
Shouldn't
in
do.
there.
Shouldn't be. It should be stealth comes into play in here. No sound can penetrate. So it should be. Shouldn't.
There's a visual component though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, if you say there's a component.
You can see
Still going to do it.
Yeah, you've done it. Yeah, you've created a visual portal.
A small portal in front of me. All you can see is something sort of a little blurry.
Okay. Yes, very discreet.
Citadel.
Yes.
1 frame.
Right, I am amazed by this flying woman and the sudden appearance of a portal. By the way, what does the portal look like in infrared?
basically not showing up on infrared.
At the moment, the only thing that would be showing up is Stronghold's face, which is where the portal is ending up.
Ah.
The pathway between my chest
okay.
and his face.
I'm going to use my intuition.
Oh, okay.
And what is my intuition telling me about this situation? given that I don't know much about these two attackers.
You don't know much about Shadow either.
No, but you are assumed for this experience to at least know each other.
Okay, then in that case,
it's just a playthrough. You were on one team, right. They're on the other.
In that case, I decide I will try and move out of the way because I know what Stronghold can do if he gets close.
Right.
Now I'm in this bar. Is there anybody near me or in the way?
There's not exactly next to you, but within 10 meters or so, you've got tables occupied by drinkers, and the bar staff, obviously, probably about 4 or 5 meters away behind the bar.
Right. What's the furthest I could move in any direction then, other than directly towards them?
Probably to your left-hand side along the bar.
Right. Well, I've got a move of a frame of 5 meters.
Yes.
So I'm going to shift sideways to begin with.
Yeah.
So that will, and it says moves per frame 5 meters. So my frame can be used getting out the way.
Yeah.
And doing a bit of outflanking.
Okie dokie. Obviously, Sanctuary and Stronghold, you can see that he's moved off.
I'm not really aware, I'm still facing them.
Yeah. Probably adds a couple of meters additional distance by the virtue of his moving to the side, but it will create a little bit of distance, only a couple of meters worth, but he's a little bit further away from you in that regard. Now we jump back to Sanctuary, and you've got up to 3 frames in which to make actions.
Right. So it's the other 3 because we've used 1, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I get it. Yeah. Right. Citadel now, has he moved past some people who are at the bar?
No. He's moving towards some people that are further down the bar, but there's still about 5 meters. Okay, maybe 4 meters difference between him and the next set of people further down. It's a long bar.
Yeah. Okay. I'm thinking that I could maybe now, because I'm a bit put off by this portal. I don't know what can happen here.
Well, that wouldn't stop you, would it?
No. Yeah. He's got. There's a portal in front of me. I can see it. Yeah. So let's see. I could possibly. I can read surface thoughts by using 2 side points. Yeah.
Yes.
So I am going to try and think. I'm going to, and that I think would cost, that costs 2 side points. And it also, would that be 1 frame to do that?
Using your superpowers is 2 frames.
All right. Okay. And I've got 3, haven't I?
Yes.
Okay. See, I'm not sure. What I might do is, how far away is John Hanover from me at the moment? Citadel.
So you're about 5 away, so 7.
All right, I'm 7 away from him. Yeah. All right. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do a typical barroom ploy, which is I'm going to switch my attack to this perfectly innocent guy who's moving out of the way.
Oh, man.
It happens all the time. I've seen too many of these barroom fights. Anyway, I'm going to try doing I think it requires 3 to do a flying attack on him, 7 meters, yeah?
Right, so you want to do a dive into combat.
Yeah?
Okie dokie.
And I saw a film the other day that said, if you want to hurt someone, don't use your foot, use your fist. So that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going in with my fist to Citadel, which is, it's crazy. But this is all about finding out how things work and what.
Yes, it is.
Of course.
It is. So I want to try and use as many things as I can. And this
is a violent individual, really.
This is a basic, isn't it? It's punching someone. Right.
So obviously, if you look at your character sheet, you've got your usual attacks listed part way down.
Dive into combat. It says 3.
Yeah. Now, weapon class 3. That is based on your, where are they? Your martial arts ability.
Okay. And it says 1 frame to attack and 1 frame to recovery. So that means that I have to recover from making the attack. Yeah. Yeah,
so this 3 frames, your first frame is basically the dive. The second frame is your punch. And then the third frame is classed as recovery. Okay, and it's because all of these special attacks that the rules give people, leap into combat, somersault, they're just basically slightly awkward maneuvers, and you have to spend 1 of the frames at the end to steady yourself and right yourself, whatever the situation is. So all you need to do for me then, Citadel, for starters, the American woman suddenly twists in midair and flies straight at you with a fist out.
Right.
Now, nothing for you to do. Nothing for you to do. Mike, you've got to now roll to strike the target.
Right. So
I've got the strike table here. You need a 20-sided dice.
Okay.
You are simply making a dice roll. Tell me what the result is.
Okay. 17 on a 20-sided dice.
Ooh, that is pretty good, because Citadel's defense class of 5 and your attack class of 3 means you had to roll 10 or more. And obviously you've done that without any problem at all. So, Citadel, damage incoming.
Yeah.
Your intuition is telling you that you are going to get a face full of fist. And then you are able to perform a combat response, knowing that she will hit you. If you do not, it's your choice. You can either take it.
Right. Can I dodge?
You can indeed.
Right. I've got +3 as a dodge modifier.
Now, one of the things I haven't printed out is the actual dodge table, but here we go. Okay, so weapon class of the attack is 3 for Sanctuary. You're rolling a 6-sided dice, Citadel.
Right.
You're adding your total dodge modifiers to the result,
which is 3.
So the result is
9.
9 in total. Glancing blow, or if you choose to use up an additional future frame, you avoid it completely.
I'll avoid it completely.
Okie dokie. Now this is where my bookkeeping is enormous. So that's another frame gone for Citadel.
So I've used 2 frames.
And I've used 2.
Or 3 frames, including the future one.
Sanctuary is out of frames for this round. Citadel's used now 2 because you've had your 1 action to move, and then you've used your 1 frame to successfully complete the dodge. Sanctuary, you end up possibly sliding over the bar and into the space behind. Stronghold, rather, you see that she nearly got this dude, but he was just a little bit quicker sidestepping at the last minute. However, it is your action. You have 3 frames with which to do something.
How far am I from Sanctuary?
Well, Citadel was approximately 7 meters. She's gone over the bar, so anything between about 8 and 9.
Okay. Now this line slinging, is that just swinging, or can I net people or lasso people?
You can't lasso people at the moment. That would possibly be something you could learn as a power stunt.
Right.
But that would be part of your campaign ratings and your daily utility phases. So at the moment, no. You know how to wrap it around the ceiling fans and leap around the room, but that's about it.
And he can choose to hold, can he? If he wants to come in. Yeah.
No, it's fine. No.
He can't hold now because he is the last person on his team.
Yep,
so he's got to use them or lose them.
Now we are trying to learn, so I hope you'll forgive me asking a question. Yeah.
Don't worry.
When I've got flight, right?
Yes.
I can either use it to move, either in combat or straight line speed. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
But then I've done what I've done just now, which is dive into combat. Now, I thought that was only going to use up 2 frames because it's using a power. But you're saying it's used up 3.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Yeah. Now,
there are some people have got superpowers that give them the opportunity for an attack, which is something into combat. All of those cost 3 frames.
All right.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you.
Okay, back to Sanctuary. Stronghold, sorry.
Yeah.
But his line sling, it says 10 meters in 1 frame.
Yeah. So it might sound a bit odd, but you can literally fire your slinger and move in that frame.
Okay, so I can get after him. Because she's 9 meters away, 10 meters. So 1 frame to catch up with Sanctuary. Now, what he's trying to do is get a hold of Sanctuary and subdue her a bit.
So you've got 2 turns left, yeah?
So I've got 2 frames.
2 frames left, and you pair Shadow and Citadel. Obviously, you see this guy shoots out a line from his gauntlet. A little doohickey pops up, and it jets out, a bit like Batman, hooks onto something above your head, possibly a ceiling fan, and before you know it, he's swung round, he's behind the bar, and he's grabbing hold of his female friend.
Can I leap into combat at this point? I'm aiming to go for Stronghold, trying to grapple.
Stronghold has still got 2 frames to go.
All right.
So it's one of those systems. They've got to get through theirs, and then you get through yours.
So you're going to he tries to grab me.
So I'm trying to subdue him somehow, grab him or hold him in or her. Sorry.
Right. You can, if you wish to give me 2 attack rolls, you can go for a grapple.
Okay. So is that two rolls of D10?
D20s.
Sorry. Okay. Oh, so
what's the number?
A 9.
So that's a 5, yeah.
And a 16.
That's an 8. 5 and an 8.
Oh, I've got a 10 sided one.
5 and an 8. And your weapon classes are 3. Sanctuary, your defense class is 5. So you would have needed 10s minimum.
Okay.
So both of those missed, yeah. So he's tried to grab me. He's missed twice because I'm a slippery customer.
Can I just check? Did you say he used to use D20s?
Yeah.
Which one is just divide?
All right,
D10.
Them, yeah.
Well,
so yeah. You wanted D10. So the 16 was a success. And so was the
So
the 9 wasn't, but the 16 was.
So it's 9 and 16 are rolled on the D20.
Yeah, because I thought you wanted D10s.
And I didn't actually hear. I heard the lower result. I didn't hear.
I spotted. Yeah.
So
he's grabbed.
So your grapple has ended up with you having one arm around Sanctuary, but the other one's probably got stuck under the bar as you've tried to bring your arm round. So there'll be a slight penalty for Sanctuary if she wants to do anything physical, but it's nowhere near a perfect result from your point of view because you haven't got a proper hold on her.
If I wanted now, I could use future frames to make an attack response against
Stronghold.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
If you wish to.
If I wish to. Yeah. Well, he has grabbed me.
Yeah. Do you want to?
Him.
Okay.
He did call me him. Yeah. So, yeah, I've got one arm free, haven't I? Yeah.
You've got one arm free.
Yeah. And he's got one
Depends
arm.
what you want to do.
Tying each other up in knots here, Jade.
Behind the bar.
Okay.
Dignified scuffle.
No, I'll pass because I can say it. I'll let Shadow get his.
Understood.
Yeah.
Okay then, Shadow. Suddenly finding that both of your erstwhile opponents are now behind you and potentially grappling amongst themselves whilst the bar staff are wondering.
Can I just walk out at this point?
You've now got 3 frames to do something yourself.
5 meters away.
You can just walk out the door.
My perfect example would be just to walk out of the bar at this point. Leave them to struggle.
I'm going to need to bring 2 Guinnesses for this adventure.
Right. Citadel.
Russell's going nowhere. He's got a drink on the bar. He's got Australian priorities.
Right.
So basically,
I'm holding my turn.
if you don't want to do anything with it, you will lose the frames because it will be the end of the round.
Right,
If you don't take any offensive actions, I can move on to round 2.
But
Have I got anything left?
Citadel and then come in, couldn't he?
Citadel's got 2 frames left.
Right. Are there any vacant tables or chairs nearby me?
Strangely enough, a couple of them have been recently vacated by people who don't want their drinks spilled.
Very wise.
Get kicked in the face by flying black men on swing lines.
Okay, I pick up a table, which I think I can do because according to the sheet I can lift 3.5 tons.
Oh, indeed.
This one's a nail to the floor.
I pick up the floor. Don't care. Right, I've picked up a table. Does that take 1 frame?
1 frame.
Right, okay. Can I see Sanctuary and Stronghold?
Yes, but you can see more of Stronghold.
Actually, thinking about it, with my infrared vision, I can probably see them anyway.
There's no problem with normal vision. You wouldn't be able to use IR properly. They would show up, but they would only show up in so much as you can already see them with normal vision.
Right. Can I throw the table at them?
Yes.
I do so.
Does that only take 1 action? Is it throwing a table? Okay.
No, picked it up one actually.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I like tables.
Can I throw the table in 1 frame?
Okay.
It would take 1 action, but you've got 2 frames, which is 1 action anyway.
Okay.
You picked it up and you throw it. That's your 2 frames.
Right.
So we're going to need a D20 dice roll from you, Citadel.
Who's he aiming at?
18.
So what was that?
Behind the dish.
18.
Yeah.
18. Now then, what I'm going to do here. That's a D10. So on a roll of 1 or 2, it hits Sanctuary. Anything else, it hits Stronghold. because of the fact he's actually trying to grapple Sanctuary. And that's an 8, so it is against Stronghold. Now, I know that 18 is going to manage it. There's no question about that. So Stronghold. So it's what, about 2 foot wide, circular table?
It's a pub table, yeah.
It's flying at you across the bar. It's going to hit you square in the probably shoulder and side of the head. Do you wish to make a combat response or take it?
I think you'll take it because he's still trying to hold on to the sanctuary.
Yeah. Let's see what happens when you get hit by a table. Yeah. This is all about learning, you see.
It is about learning. Right then, so Citadel. I think what I'll suggest you do.
Can I ask one question though, because it is about learning, yeah?
Yeah.
Would I be able to make a combat response as the table is coming towards the two of us?
I wouldn't have said so because we've established the target is Stronghold.
Okay, that's all right. Yeah. But I would if it was going to hit me. Yeah.
That's the way I would judge it.
That's fine. Yeah. I can let it hit you.
Without having stats for a table in front of me, Chris, I think what I'll say is roll 1d6 hits to kill first.
6. I'm doing well tonight.
Ooh. So the edge of the table seems to have caught Stronghold straight in the cheekbone.
Nasty.
So the first thing to remember, Jim, is you've got 6 hits to kill against you. And let's go for 2d6 plus 4.
Oh, you're doing it penciling. Yeah.
But it's over 2 kilograms or whatever the weight is. It's 2 or 4 kilograms. If you wish to add any damage modifier from your strength, you can do so.
Ooh. Well, my damage modifier is plus 14.
Yeah, now that's throwing it with all your might.
Yeah.
So, and don't forget, you can put it all towards one or the other, or you can split it between the two.
I'll put it on who I've hit.
No, I don't mean the characters. I mean hits to kill or hits to coma.
Right. I'll go 50-50.
So that's 7 points with each. Yeah.
Right. So Jim, you've now taken 13 hits to kill. 6 plus 7. Because he's splitting half of his damage modifier to hits to kill. So what I'm saying now, Chris, is 2d6 plus 4 plus 7 hits to coma.
2d6 plus 4. Right. I keep rolling 6, 7, 8 plus 4 is 12.
I can see why you have
roll this well.
Yes. From the magic shop next door, isn't it?
I'm not. Ant will tell you, I usually roll much worse than this.
It's fine. It's fine.
I don't believe that. No, don't believe that.
We're up against people together. I'm a happy man or woman.
No, when I was playing Doctor Who games with him, his Daleks annihilated my Cybermen. 60s everywhere.
Yeah. So that's 2. What did you get with 2d6? Was it 12?
Yeah, I got d6. Well, I got 8 on a 6 and a 2, which is 8, and then it was 4, wasn't it? That's 12.
And then 7 again for your strength.
Oh,
19. Okay.
19 then.
It's on the hit to coma.
That's my.
Yeah, so 19 hits to coma.
Can I ask a question at this point?
Yeah.
Where do we find how many hits to kill? And I've seen it. It's all right.
Yeah.
Just something to look, see how many you can take before it actually does that real damage.
That's right.
About
29.
About halfway there.
So as Jim should be able to see, he's got no damage dividers.
No.
So whatever damage has just been rolled is the damage that Stronghold takes at the present time.
It's taken all that damage.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah.
Ouch.
A very heavy table thrown with considerable force.
You're fighting against me. We should be fighting against them. They're the bozos.
Well, we will be now.
They're the bloody bozos. I'm telling you. He touched my bum.
Last chance, Shadow. Anything, or do you want to just move on to round 2?
Move on to round 2. I'm just enjoying what's happening here.
Okay. What I will do is suggest we roll initiative each round. It is supposed to represent mayhem and comic book action. So I think it's Jay's turn to roll the D10 for your team, and one of Jim or Mike to roll the
6.
D10 for their team.
6.
4.
4. So a difference of 2, which doesn't make any difference to the number of frames, same as last time. So Shadow and Citadel, you have an advantage of 1 frame. You are going first this time. You have, because it's an odd number again, the option of holding it if you wish and having 4 frames in a row, or doing something with the 1 frame right now.
Chris, what you want to do?
I'm tempted to hold.
It's fine. I'm happy to go with that.
But I've seen the table go over the bar, but I don't quite know what it's done.
I have no idea why these 2 bozos are trying to attack us.
No, nor me.
Like each other.
Has my drink been spilled yet?
It will
Not if you're being careful with it.
It's on the bar. I didn't start jumping around holding
I
it.
telekinetically emptied over your head.
Ooh, now I'm mad.
No, I wouldn't have done that. You see, I
Not
know.
yet.
No, you'd be unleashing mayhem. Right.
I'm going to say that your drink is still standing there. As long as you left it where you were standing before you moved, Sanctuary's just avoided hitting it by virtue of you moving those few yards down the bar.
So Chris is holding. Then it's Jay. Yeah.
So Citadel, are you holding?
I'll hold.
Right. So you've got 1. So you will have 4 frames in a row. However, we move to Sanctuary. You've got 1 frame if you wish,
I'll
or
hold.
you can hold.
I'm going to hold. Yeah.
Okay. Stronghold. 1 frame or hold.
Use the 1 frame to pick up this wretched table.
I don't. It's dropped to the floor, isn't it?
Well, yeah, so I've got to pick it up again, which is a frame.
So you
I
let go
believe.
of me then? Yeah.
Yeah, I've let go of you, and I'll pick up the
Right. So
table.
he's picked the table up. Good.
No problem at all.
Right.
Right then. Shadow, 4 frames, an entire round's worth of activity.
Right, so let me get this clear. So what we've got is both of them behind the bar on the ground with a table on top of them.
No, I'm standing holding the
wait.
table.
They are
Oh, he's standing up now.
Yeah, we're behind
Right.
him.
In that
And
case,
it's
not
called-
knowing that Stronghold is strong, Shadow is going to do something really stupid, which is going to be that she's going to try and do a leap into combat
Yes.
with an intent to throw Stronghold back over the bar.
This sounds like a judo throw.
It is a judo throw. So leap into combat is just 1 frame, I believe.
Well, leap. You've elected for leap into combat, which would take 3 frames.
Ah, right.
So your first frame is building up the momentum. Your second frame is the actual punch or kick. Third frame is steadying yourself after the maneuver.
It's the same as my dive. My dive was 3 frames.
Yeah. Now, I'd have to just remind myself, I think a judo throw takes 2
So
frames.
you used 2 frames, yes.
So you can either
So
do...
I'd need to borrow a frame from the next round.
You could, for instance, as long as you didn't leap into combat, daft as it sounds, you could simply jump onto the bar and kick him in the face.
But
For 2
how far
frames.
away are we now? You see, are we more than 5 meters away from Jay?
Oh, okay.
To be fair, that's a good point. Yes, because you went after Citadel, so you are about 5 meters away behind the bar. Yeah.
So in that case, I couldn't leap into close enough to them. How far can my portals, how far away from me can I produce them?
Up to
100 meters? Or is that just to do with travel?
that's maximum distance. Normal superpowers work on 20 meters, so I would suggest that you could produce one.
In that case,
what
I want to do is I want to open a portal underneath them.
Yeah.
Both of them, and then redirect it to the roof of the pub.
Understood.
Inside the roof, of course.
Yeah. So these portals can be used offensively as weapons. They're not just a movement thing.
No, my portals are able to be used separate from me.
Yeah.
Yes, if you'd punched me when I had the portal in front of my chest, that punch would have gone through the portal and hit Jim.
Oh yeah.
And because I do not believe Stronghold or Sanctuary have got anything that can help in that regard. Nope. And to remain true to the spirit of the comic book medium,
beneath my feet, yeah.
You two suddenly find yourselves falling through the floor.
Unless I were able to fly.
Yes.
Because
you currently have Jim lying on top of you.
No, he's let go of me. He's grabbed the table. So if the floor disappears from me, underneath me, my instinct would be surely to fly. Yeah. See what I mean? Yeah.
Would you fly before he hit the portal, or would it be after the flying? So, GM's call here, Sunshine.
Okay.
I'm just trying to find out.
There's no problem with Shadow creating the portal.
Yeah.
Both of you start to fall.
Yeah.
I can't see a way that Stronghold can do much at the moment, but I just thought of something.
Where does the portal come up? Is it
inside the pub at the top?
I won't tell you where anything's happening just yet because you haven't fallen through it at this moment. Sanctuary, if you want to declare a combat response, I will allow you to kick your flight in. It will cost you the 2 frames that it cost Shadow to make the portal, and you can therefore remain floating, or you can fall some way and you can float yourself out of the portal back behind the bar.
I'll just fall.
You'll just fall. Okay, so the next thing you both know is that you and the bar table have landed on a flat portion of the pub roof.
Okay.
Not even a beer garden. It's just a flat portion of the roof that contains air vents and aircon units, that sort of thing. Probably about 4 meters square, give or take. Nothing elaborate.
That's bewildering.
So from
Shadow's got 2 frames left.
So from Citadel's point of view, they just drop out of sight.
Yes.
Right.
Any more actions, Shadow?
I'm heading towards the door of the pub.
Yeah. Okay. That'll be the rest of your fray.
Take it outside, gentlemen and lady.
Citadel, your erstwhile comrade in arms is walking
to the door. Okay.
Yeah.
I spaced in. Where have you sent Tinkerbell and Mike Tyson?
He's pointing upwards. She is pointing upwards.
It's only similar.
Okay. I'm going to go to the bar, have a swig of my drink, and follow him.
Okie dokie.
I'm just muttering in my breath out.
So
That's
now
what we do in Scotland. We put them outside. Take it outside, gentlemen and lady.
We haven't had ours, have we yet?
Yeah, no, yeah, they followed us.
No, they didn't. Not this time. They went first.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
So it's us now.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're standing on the roof.
We stand on a roof. Bring the roof down.
With a table.
We've got the Hulk strip.
As far as I remember, Stronghold used his first frame to pick the table up in this round.
Yeah.
3 left.
He's got 3 left, and Sanctuary, you've got all 4 frames.
Yeah.
So you find yourselves on this roughly 4 by 4 meter square flat roof. Obviously, there's a doorway somewhere just behind you that will lead to a stairwell. Aircon units, that sort of thing.
Do we actually know where we are, or do we know it's the roof of the pub that we're in, or are we just
from the shape of things and the other buildings around you, you'll know where you are. Yeah.
And yes, and they're still inside the pub. A range of options here. I suppose we're testing
Sanctuary.
it. Okay, so it'll go supersize then, which costs him, what's that?
2.
It costs you one turn, is it? One
Action.
One action.
2 frames.
2 frames. So you'd have 1 frame left after going supersize. Yeah.
Okay.
Okie dokie. In which case, I shall report that Shadow and Citadel, you make it out onto the pavement at the front of the pub, where several of the patrons have already gathered, muttering about superpowered lunatics and death and carnage and raining cats and dogs.
Totally agree.
What about
good day, folks?
And you suddenly hear the sound of crashing and snapping, and a cloud of smoke seems to billow up from the rooftop.
Smoke or dust?
Stronghold, you've fallen through the roof.
He's got 1 action left, yeah?
When he hits the floor, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Are these two so
and I've still got
We're outside.
You're outside.
We're outside watching you demolish the pub.
But he does rather lose it when he's a giant. He loses all sense of proportion.
That's all right.
So you got
Man, I hope Murgatroyd's insurance covers this.
So 1 frame he can punch what's remaining of the front wall and take it out.
Unfortunately, your position at the moment is towards the back of the bar again.
Yes.
So you've crashed through the living accommodation on the upper floor, continued through the ceiling of the actual bar portion on the ground floor, and you, let's face it, up to your chest is in the bar, and above your chest is in the living accommodation, where the pub manager's current girlfriend is looking a little bit shocked in her black lacy underwear.
So he's got to extricate himself from this somehow.
That's okay. That's all right. You've got one thing left that you can do. You can move, can't you? Or you can
stuck in a building. How can he move? It's like brickwork.
I will allow you to duck under the ceiling, and
to go back to its normal size would take another 2.
Right.
Yes, it would.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Duck and struggle out of this trap as best I can.
Okay, so you don't quite make it out of the bar, but you two will see that he's ducked under the ceiling and he's shuffling his way.
He's basically wearing the pub as a pair of underpants.
Yeah.
Let's keep it decent and say he's got his costume on. So Sanctuary, you have got all 4 frames left, and you've just seen Stronghold go through the roof.
Okay.
and get stuck.
Well, I'm quite cross now. Because things are not going our way.
And you don't own the pub, so just think how livid he is.
So it doesn't matter, right? So I'm going to try my speciality, Psyblast.
Ooh.
Against who?
Against Shadow.
Ooh.
Okay.
Let's go for this then.
Collapse. Did he come for you?
No, I'm still on the roof. Well,
there isn't any roof.
Well, no, not the whole roof. You just went to make big. I'm looking at big hole, right? I'm on my own up here, so I'm doing a mental attack against a Psyblast, right? Now,
yeah,
this requires a successful mental attack against the target.
Yes.
How is that worked out?
Slightly differently, in the sense that it doesn't use the combat chart.
No.
Both parties, according, I'm going to throw this out to you eventually. The rules actually state that you both roll a d20 and add your ego stat to the result.
Yeah.
Now, my personal opinion is that if you are not fighting another psionic character, I fail to see why they should add their ego. But the rules, as they are written,
I think we should follow the rules wherever possible. I mean, you were saying about
possibly changing
you
things.
want to possibly modify, but I mean,
For the moment,
I think let's road test it first.
That's fine by me.
Cool.
So that is it. If both of you please roll a d20, add your ego stats.
Jay, me against thee. D20. Come on, I've got
14,
mine. A lovely red
plus
one.
14 is 28.
28.
And I got 21. So that failed.
It fails, yeah.
Yeah.
All you pick up is that your opponent has got a particularly strong will. Might have known that you were trying something mentally, and they've been able to shut you out.
That says it costs 1 action per attack.
Yeah.
So is that one of my frames?
1 action is 2 frames.
Right. Okay.
So you've got 2 frames left, meaning you could make another psi attack if you wish to.
Okay. Well, he seems a bit strong. I'm feeling out the other guy now. I'm going to attack Citadel in the same way.
Ooh. Okay then.
Okay.
So same again.
Mad. I am mad. I'm telling you, I've got.
So
in a twist.
So 20-sided dice, Chris. Add your ego.
Roll
Dice, yeah.
Roll a d20 and add ego.
Yeah.
Right, my ego's 11 and I've rolled 4, so 15.
But I've only rolled a 3, but my ego's 13, so I've rolled 16. So I've successfully mentally attacked you, Chris.
Ooh.
So now what we need to do is your psionic damage.
All right. Now it says here it costs 1 psi point per 2d6. Yeah.
Now that is because when people roll psionic powers or magic powers, the first power that they roll is classed as a speciality.
Yeah.
And it costs, I think it's half usual. Yeah. So in your case, you are actually a Psyblast monster.
Oh, I am. Yeah.
So as you've quite rightly said, for 1 psi point, you actually get 2d6 damage, and you don't have to split it between hits to kill and hits to coma if you don't want to. You can literally, I think there's I don't know as there is a maximum actually.
I can use as many psi points as I want.
Up to your total.
All right.
Now, most of them, I'm going to have to look this up, Chris, because with energy attacks, it's 10 dice maximum.
Okay.
I haven't written anything about this on psi points here, so I would have to look that up.
From memory, Sanctuary's got 21 side points.
Right.
Yeah, but I don't know whether you can use them all in one go. That's what I'm
Loads of dice.
worried about. No, sorry, my fault. No more than 10 points. No more than 10 side points can be expended in any one action.
All right. Okay. Good man. So I can use 10 side points if I want, and I've
Which
got
is 20 dice.
All right. So
that's a hell of a dice score.
I know it's a big dice throw, right? But I mean, I just want to see what I can do. I want to see because I mean, even if I kill him, it's not real. This is just a trial, isn't it? Yeah. So
yeah. Now, don't forget, you can split the damage however you want. So you can do hits to coma.
And I can do hit to coma.
Hits to kill or hits to coma.
Hit to kill. Yeah. Okay. So I'm not feeling mean. So I'm gonna. If I were to use maximum side points I've got, it would then be that much damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So one went on the floor. It's always the way, isn't it? All right. So that's 12, 22, 22, 30, 38, 39 points of damage.
Ouch. What kind?
It's hit to coma.
Hit to coma. I'm in a coma, I think.
Yeah, you're unconscious.
I'm unconscious, and I've got. How did you say it was again?
You've taken one more point of HTC than you've got on your score.
Okay. Right, I'm definitely in a coma.
Yeah.
Thud.
How many could he take hit to coma?
38.
Oh gosh.
That's a really good game.
Yeah.
Yep. So you quite literally. You
would have got me down to 8. I'm staggered, and if you get me down to 4, I'm stunned.
I think that
I'm unconscious.
That might be a good incentive for you to join up with us.
Look what I can do.
Right. Let's see.
So he's out of it, isn't he?
Does my recovery rate apply once I'm unconscious, or am I basically stretched off?
Right then. Blah blah blah. So you're basically on -1, Chris.
Yeah.
Your hits to coma recovery rate, as is everybody's, is each round. So starting from the next round, which to be fair is due to begin, because Sanctuary's just finished off the round, you would then roll your recovery dice. Okay. When you get back to 0, you have to roll a d20 and get less than your vigor, and you can continue, but obviously only with the number of hit points you've managed to recover in that first round.
So once I've got back to 0, I can attempt to wake up.
So basically, I'm reading this to mean that you're going to have to roll your recovery dice in round 3.
Yeah.
Which means you won't fail to reach 0. And then
I'm rolling d20s
to roll
so
a 1d20 and get under your vigor.
Right.
So you might be awake next round.
Will be, because there's only 1 point down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But he's got to roll under his vigor.
For his vigor to recover at all.
Yeah, vigor's 11.
Yeah. So each round that passes, keep rolling your recovery dice.
Right.
And keep adding up your hits to coma, because that's you recovering.
Yeah.
But until you roll 11 or less on a d20, you won't actually wake up.
Right. So at the moment, I'm down.
You are down.
What's nice is that Chris still gets to do something each turn, even though he's not, able to make any decisions, because he's got a roll to see if he can recover, rather than just, right, you're out of it till next week.
Well, let's all be grateful you didn't slam that into hits to kill.
Yeah.
Because I would be dead.
Well, I figured that might be a premature end to the campaign. But this isn't real, you see. This is just
exactly. But this is, again, that should show you that your particular power can do horrible things if you want it to.
Women can.
Against non-psychic targets.
Certainly against non-psychics, yeah. And
if other targets with psi powers would stand a better chance, they can resist.
Yeah. Or rather, that's the way I want it. I know they can resist. I just feel that non-psychics shouldn't be able to resist it as easily as they can do. I still think that rolling the same dice and adding your ego score is to level a playing field.
Yeah. So basically, in psychic terms, I've got a glass jaw. So.
Yes. But then
again, differentiate between NPCs and PCs.
If Jay hadn't added his ego on, he would have got knocked out as well.
Mm.
You see what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. There may be a case here for a different rule for PCs in comparison to NPCs.
So
there is for non-superpowers. There already is built into the system. I see where you're going with it. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Okay, we'll keep it as it is. Okie dokie. We're on to round 3. So first of all, Chris, if you roll what I think is 2d6.
2d6 then, right.
For you anyway.
I've got 7 back.
Okay, so that literally puts you on 6 hits to coma.
Right, and I will try the d20 and see if I can wake up.
Yep.
And I can't. I've rolled 19.
Okay. So we know where we stand there then. I'll cross you through. It's a D10 for Jay and a D10 for Jim and Mike.
Nothing.
A 7. So that's a 10 and a 7. Which is a difference of 3. And now that bumps you up to an advantage of 2 frames or 1 action, depending on your point of view.
It's 10, doesn't it, on a D10?
Yeah. 0 is 10, yeah.
Right, so...
So Sanctuary, you can't hold these because it adds up to an action. So you've got 2 frames, 1 action, you can do something, and then Stronghold, you'll be following Sanctuary.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna just try the same thing. See if it works this time against Jay. So
okie dokie.
What was it?
D20 plus ego.
No, the cost of it in terms of frames, was it a 3-frame thing or a 2-frame? I can't remember.
2 frames, 1 action.
All right, 2 frames, so it's 1 action. All right.
Okay, so roll your D20.
Twice, as you say.
Yeah.
Right. So it's first thing is against ego.
Yeah.
I've got a total. What's your total, Jay?
32.
No.
18 plus 14.
Oh gosh, you're rolling well. So I've only got less than that. So my second attack is doing the same thing again. Yeah.
Understood. Good luck, Jay.
So go on, Jay. Go on. Roll again. Still against you, Jay. I can't hit
Still against.
Now.
Okay.
I'm not going to attack Chris.
15 plus 14, 29.
God, he's doing well.
Well, he's got a high ego.
No, it's not. His ego's only 14, isn't it, Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled a 15.
Rolling.
You got 15?
15 plus 14.
All right. No, yeah, massively higher than me. That's fine, yeah. So both those attacks didn't work.
I'm using my special dice.
I know.
She's not weighted, you know that.
No, Jim.
Just lucky.
You just like it, Jim.
So where am I? I'm trapped inside a building, but I was.
He's wading through the brickwork.
Working my way out.
You're going to need one more frame to actually vacate the bar.
Okay.
There's no point using the door in your current form, so you may as well just walk straight through the plate glass window.
Yeah.
And that leaves you outside. 3 frames.
If this was your favourite pub, John, then you're not having a good day.
Oh dear.
This was the only Australian bar in. Where are we, by the way?
And I'll bet he spilt my drink.
Oh yes.
Oh,
It's full of brick dust.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, mate, yeah, your drink's history. So Stronghold, you
I'm just trying to work out what his mood is.
you bash your way out of the
It's the other two.
plate glass frontage. The whole pub is
Apart from setting all
shaking and
It wasn't me. It was he pinched my bum.
plaster dust and bricks falling down on a regular basis.
It was she. I didn't realise.
Does that change anything?
Well, yeah, it makes her one of them Cockney lesbian dykes.
Ooh.
Are you Cockney?
Shadow, you've just seen a black gentleman in a superhero costume who is easily 10 foot tall, just crash out of the front of the bar, and he's now quite literally towering above you, more than twice your height. Stronghold, you can see that Citadel is apparently unconscious on the pavement. The last of the bystanders have started to leg it. Seems though you've just ruined the pub completely. And there's no Stronghold. There's no sign of sanctuary.
No sign.
Question for you, and
You
you said earlier. Sorry.
Come on.
I was just going to say, if I'm not wrong, you said that the landlord's girlfriend is still inside the premises.
Yes.
So she is. If the building is collapsing, she's at risk.
Yes, and possibly the bar staff, who you've not seen vacate yet.
Right. So whose turn is it? It's Stronghold's at the moment, isn't it?
It's Stronghold.
So you were
No. Cogitating.
All right, you're cogitating. All right.
I'm trying to work out what his mood is.
How many frames does it take to cogitate?
If he's across it, so he can't see you because you're on the roof.
Yeah.
Is he still on the roof?
I'm behind you.
Or has the roof collapsed under him?
Your uncanny powers are telling you that there is somebody on the roof.
There's still a bit of roof to have.
That there is somebody on the upper floor. So not as high as the roof, but the next level down. Possibly the person that was in black lacy underwear. You can detect 3 other people in the rear section of the pub.
But it's the front section of the pub that's collapsing, really.
Yeah.
Yes, but considering that you came down towards the rear of the bar, you would be asking yourself, if this bit goes, surely some of the other bits going to be coming down as well.
It wouldn't pass code at the moment. No way.
No. Okay, so we'll. That's right. So we can turn around. I don't know if that counts as an act. So he's virtually standing in the front of the pub, isn't he?
Yes, yeah.
So he can turn around and perhaps try and prop it up wherever he thinks these.
That will take 1 frame, yeah.
What, to do the propping up as well?
Yeah.
The whole turning round and putting your arm up to hold the bricks, yeah, that's 1 frame.
And they shout for everybody to get out from under. He should do a nice loud bellow, shouldn't he? Get out.
Okie dokie. You will notice through the front window that you are just about able to see over the sill of, that the woman is grabbing some clothes and dashing out of the bedroom that you crashed through. You can sense people moving at the back of the pub and seem to be going further away from you as well.
Back door open. Okay.
You have 2 frames left.
Okay.
You got 2 frames left.
But they're still getting out of the bit. They're only
You can choose to stand there and hold the building up.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still get any frames left?
Shadow, you've got all 4.
Right. In that case, I'm going back into the pub, running at speed, dodging any collapsing things. I'm going to try and get to the people who are still there, starting with the female.
Okie
I'm
dokie.
going to do a search through the entire building, trying to search for any survivors.
That is absolutely not a problem. You will, well, the first thing you'll be able to do is the 3 members of the bar team. You'll be able to make sure they get out at the rear of the pub.
They can get out then. I don't need to portal them out.
No, the back, the sort of
The back is still
rear
holding.
fire exit type thing is perfectly serviceable.
Right.
Let's ham it up a little bit. The bottom half of the stairs have given way, and the girlfriend, who has managed to stick a pair of jeans on and a loose sweater, is stuck about 8 foot up, and doesn't seem very keen on the idea of jumping down.
It's all right. I'm going to jump up to her and assault up.
Yeah.
Now, how many points I need to do for that?
I'm going to say two frames gets you to the back of the pub when you notice the bar staff are escaping.
Mm-hmm.
1 frame will get you up next to the woman who's stuck on the dismantled staircase. So you've got 1 frame left.
So I can leap 4 meters in 1 frame.
Yeah.
I'm going to borrow from the next round.
That's horizontal distance, don't forget.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I'm also got acrobatics.
Yeah.
Based on my thing. So I'm going to try and, whatever way, I'm going to get up the stairs with her. And then I'm going to necessarily borrow a frame from the next round and portal her out.
Yeah, we'll consider it a combat response. It'll take your last frame and 1 frame from the next round.
Yep, that's fine.
And where are you going to with
I'm going out the front, but as far away as I can possibly remember.
Yeah, okay then.
As far away from the building collapsing as I can.
Lovely jubbly. Okay then. Stronghold. We're entering round 4. So Chris, roll your 2 dice and then your D20. Stronghold, you've got the sense that the pub appears to be completely empty of life.
Yeah, I'm on the roof.
Apart from Sanctuary.
No, I've got 8 points back, but I'm still unconscious.
Okay.
So we roll now for initiative, yeah?
Indeed, yes. So again, D10 for Jay and D10 for Jim and Mike.
Right, 10 in my case.
5.
Mm-hmm. So it's on you, Jay.
I've already borrowed 1 frame.
No, is it more than 1 frame? Because it's a difference of 5. We've got 5.
It's a good one. It's a difference of 3 frames advantage. So now you've got the option, because it's an odd number, you can hold 1 or have all 3. If you hold 1, you can have 2 frames now and 2 frames later.
Right. We've got the woman out. Everybody else is out.
I do apologise. You used 1 frame.
Use 1 frame.
Yeah.
So you've got 3 frames, but you can still hold
1 frame.
But you've got to use 2 now at minimum.
All right. Okay.
Right. I've no idea what to do in this situation. I really don't.
Well,
So my logical action would be to make sure that if there's anybody injured, which is Chris's character, is injured, be to call for an ambulance or some sort of medical support.
Can do.
Yeah.
So that would be what my action would be. I would then be trying to use my ventriloquist abilities to try and persuade Stronghold to basically shrink it down and get the hell out of there.
Trying to calm him down.
Yeah.
You've got a voice basically in your ear, as if somebody's standing next to you, telling you, shrink back down and get the hell out of there before the rest of the building comes down.
Okay.
So basically, Stronghold, you can hear a disembodied voice. It's not coming from inside your head. It's definitely an external source. But somebody is saying to you, shrink and get out of there before the building falls down.
So Jay's had 2 of his and he's holding one back, yeah?
Holding one back.
All right.
That's what it sounds like to me, yeah.
Is it the case that it can be either Stronghold or Sanctuary to go next?
No, it's dexterity order, so it's always going to be Sanctuary and then Stronghold.
All right, okay. Well, what I want to do, right, is I want to telekinetically connect with the computer system in the pub to wipe all the evidence, all of this mayhem from the hard drives, the CCTV.
Understood.
Okay. Because I see what all the damage you've done, Marcus. Gosh, that's the last time.
You started it, you pain in the ass pedestra.
Okay, so I would only ask for the 2 side points there.
All right.
Because you've got this is obviously something that I've done for your character. It's a combined skill, but because you've already got the computer expert skill,
so I'm using a superpower kind of thing. So that's 2 points for that. Yeah.
So you are that's all it's going to cost you. Yeah.
Okay, so there's 2 frames being used up.
I would insist that it's going to be an action for 2 frames. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. No, I think that's fine. 2 frames and 1 side point. Yeah.
2 side points.
All right. Okay. I mean, I'm going to want some kind of tabulature too, but it's okay. So I've got another 2 frames.
Yes.
In use. Okay.
Might want to get off the roof.
Yeah. So I can. Flight, that would also take two frames, wouldn't it? Because it's a superpower.
No, not necessarily. No, it's a movement based thing. So most of the 2 frame things relate to using a superpower to achieve an effect. Flight is more of a movement than anything else.
So I've wiped all evidence that I was ever there.
Yes.
And I'm going to fly away 60 meters in a straight line.
No problem. Stronghold.
So he's not compelled to do what this voice tells him. No. It's a free choice.
No, it just seems to be somebody. It's sort of part question and part statement, but it's not compelling you. You don't feel magically. But he's inclined.
He's calmed down a bit because he was getting into rescue mode. So if he listens to the voice, he'll step back, being careful not to tread in on anyone, and then shrink back down to normal size.
Okie dokie.
Because I think you've made your way outside the pub.
Oh, now. Well outside the pub. What's left of it.
Yeah. So shrinking back, that takes...
Stepping back and shrinking down.
That will take 2 frames. And if he wants to just back away from the
Yeah.
Move my then.
Yeah, step back first.
So we can call that his end of round. I did have Shadow with 1 frame left.
One, yeah. He's lost his voice.
Need to remember to push it down to get it to reactivate the microphone.
Right.
I'm going to plant one of my GPS trackers on Chris's character.
Yeah.
It's unconscious.
That's a bit.
Just so I can keep a track of what's happening.
No problem at all.
In case he goes off in an ambulance, you mean?
Well, he's going off in the ambulance anyway.
Well, no, because he next turn he still gets a chance to come round, doesn't he?
Yeah, I do.
Yep.
So, yeah. So that's the first thing we do, isn't it? Before each round is the recovery phase.
Yeah.
In that situation.
Unless
Now,
he comes
at the end of round 4, there's not much in the way of combat happening.
No,
Do you want to do anything else, or do you want to leave it at that?
Yeah.
It'd
be nice if you woke up before the ambulance got there. That's always fun.
Go on then,
Right,
Chris, do your
I have got. Woo.
stuff.
I got 8 points back, which
Yep.
puts me on 22. And will I wake up this time? Yes, I wake up.
Oh,
Perfect time.
Yeah. So it's happened to me. You know, the ambulance arrive and you say, "I'm fine." It's happened before. Sometimes I just pass out. You know, you can't rouse me. There's nothing you can do. Just happens.
or otherwise it could just be due to somebody blasting them with a mental blast.
Happens,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you were blasted.
Okay, Citadel, you've got a blinding headache.
Sorry about that, Chris.
You're
He isn't, honest.
Yeah,
He isn't.
you're partially covered in what appears to be brick dust and fragments of plaster and
What's my intuition saying?
your intuition. Well, because you've got a couple of different things going on. There's nobody in the pub anymore.
I can obviously see the pub's on the verge of collapse.
Well, that's what your other intuition is telling you.
How near the pub am I?
Like that wonky pub in
You're on the pavement, so pretty close.
Can I get up?
Yes, mate.
I get up and move away from the pub as far as I can, which is
Okay.
5 meters a frame.
Yeah, Stronghold, Sanctuary, Shadow. That's Triple S team, isn't it? You all see Citadel wake up, shaking his head, dusting himself off, spring to his feet and start to run away from the pub just as the frontage starts to give way. And as he makes it to the other side of the road, the entire structure falls down, the complete frontage from top to bottom.
Run and leave it shadowed.
Oh, no, he's gone. No, he's gone as well.
So, in terms of I think that's just about come to a conclusion, hasn't it? That
I think it has.
That little trial. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, it's up to you whether you want to keep that as an introduction of how these characters meet each other, or just forget that ever happened.
No, that is nothing more than a welcome to the system. I hope you're thoroughly confused moment.
Yeah,
that's not how you meet at all. All of that is in the information pack that you three
Brilliant.
have got as employees of the Murgatroyd Corporation.
Yeah, and the last piece of fiction, which I think is called Deployment, they've reached the UK together.
Yeah.
But they've not known each other very long.
No, I mean there are tales to be told, but that is not part of the canon for the campaign. That was just a bit of a giggle. Hopefully you can see how it works. It's more work on my part, I admit, and I appreciate it's a different system for you all. So you probably are thinking, what the bloody hell? But I don't know. I quite like the way it works. At least it works.
Oh, I think it's fine.
Yes.
It's good. Yeah.
Is there anything that you need to ask on top of that now you've had a go at it, or are you feeling a bit more au fait with what's expected of your characters?
How much will remain by the time you have the next session?
Oh,
All of it.
yeah, well, there'll be more to learn as well. Using different bits of our powers.
But I mean, you can forget the adventure because it never happened. But
Well,
all of the things that we did,
was a dream.
you know, it's a building thing, isn't it? You learn by doing.
Yeah.
You learn by doing.
So, Jay, did you get me last message?
The one about the show you're talking about?
Yeah.
Or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that something?
I can.
Yeah?
I can do, yes.
Okay.
Do you want to do the introduction?
So, what I'll do now, gentlemen, because it won't take many minutes and there's nothing for you to actually do, but I'm going to set up the first scenario, if that's all right with you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the time. We should be done within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that's the case.
None of us are desperate to be finished by 9 each time, are we?
No.
No. That's good. I mean,
No. I'm only conscious tonight because of the fact it's New Year's Eve and we've got families to sort out.
that's a good rule of thumb to try. You know, aim for 9. I'm happy with that. If everybody else is, yeah.
No, it's fine. Just for tonight, I'm just hoping to get done for 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so the crack is this. In uniform, meaning that you've all got your cowls and headgear on, all 3 of the Murgatroyd Enhanced Defence team find yourselves after lunch, approximately 2:30 in the afternoon, on Thursday, the 30th of November 2023, in the offices of the Right Honourable Alex Chalk KC, who at that time is Lord High Chancellor of Great Britain and Secretary of State for Justice under the Conservative government of Rishi Sunak. I don't have a photograph of him. That's the one thing I forgot to do, was get a photograph of him. Doesn't matter. He's a 46-year-old man, short dark hair, smartly dressed. He's a former barrister. He's held several high-ranking positions in the government before he took on the role of Secretary of State for Justice in April of 2023. He basically is the government chap who looks after the agreement between the UK government and the Murgatroyd Corporation. So he's not exactly your boss, but he's the guy that you have to sort of show some respect to in terms of keeping the government on the right side for Murgatroyd. However, he's not here to give you any grief. He seems quite jovial when you arrive at his offices. He invites you all to come in, sit on some very nice plush leather seating. Ask if you would like any drinks, soft or alcoholic. Whatever you decide, he will ask his secretary to sort that out. And he thanks you all very much for turning up. It's very nice to see the end result of Murgatroyd's hard work. The UK government are paying a lot of money for you to be over here looking after our streets, which I understand you've not done yet, but that's why I'm here. That's why you're here. We have a potential assignment coming up. It's not ready to put in front of you just yet. We have some high-level intelligence experts working on some last details, but we're very hopeful that you will be able to help us out with something in the very near future. But just for tonight, we want to make a bit of a show and have here, as they are, hand you an envelope, 3 VIP tickets for the Royal Variety performance, which is being filmed tonight at the Royal Albert Hall. You will have your own box, approximately 4, maybe 5 away from the royal family members who are turning up. Very good view of the stage. There'll be a brief announcement towards the beginning of the show. We would just like you to get to your feet, take a bow. Lots of people obviously are aware of what's going on with Murgatroyd and the fact that we've got you involved. So just to settle you in sort of thing, we thought we'd ask you to go along, have a good time.
When you say take a bow, you don't mean literally take a bow. I mean, I can just do a thumbs up or something. I mean, I'm not in the habit of curtsying.
Well, I can imagine in that costume it's a little bit difficult. So, yes, a quick acknowledgement of the crowd.
Yes.
If you wouldn't mind bowing to the members of the royal family when it's their turn to be announced, it would be appreciated. However, I'm sure nobody will be looking at you too directly when it's their turn. So I'll call you back as and when we've got more information for you about this potential, let's call it a mission, shall we? But for tonight, please enjoy the hospitality and have a good time.
Woohoo! Happy New Year, everybody.
So you're due to arrive round about 6 o'clock in the evening. It's a pretty cold night. It's clear. It's about 1 Celsius. So yeah, Sanctuary, your costume's not the best when it comes to cold nights, but maybe your psychic powers can tell you something different.
Comfortable is just a state of mind.
So we have the usual preamble. Bradley Walsh. Oh yes, there we go. Sorry. Seated by 6 starts at 6:15. The audiences, all the boxes, everybody is arriving to an orchestra. They're playing a medley. Hooray for Hollywood, The Man That Got Away, and Putting on the Ritz. After that, it appears that most people have arrived. Bradley Walsh will get up. He does a little bit as a nod to Gene Kelly and his widow Patricia, who is in the 4th row of the stalls. Once that is done, there is a video clip of the Royal Highnesses, the Prince and Princess of Wales, and the Crown Princess Victoria and Prince Daniel of Sweden as they exit their presumably limousines and are seen shaking hands with some dignitaries outside. Then we have the national anthem. First, surprisingly, was Monkey Fish. Samantha Barks. I don't know who Samantha Barks is, but she fronts a choir and they sing the national anthem. Then you're all asked to stand as the royal party enters the actual auditorium. Not long after that, a little bit more of Bradley Walsh. Then he introduces the 3 of you. And you were all, he asks you just to stand up and people will give you a round of applause. It doesn't seem as though anyone's throwing anything at you, so it can't be too bad. So we have, I don't know what some of these acts are, I'm afraid. We have what could be a band from Argentina called Malevo. Then we have a Swedish pop star, Zara Larsson. Then
She was the Eurovision winner, wasn't she?
Was she?
Yeah.
God, you've got a good memory.
Revealing a lot about yourself there, Chris.
Sadly, I did see her, yes, but
like her all
for years. Sorry, go on.
You get Rosie Jones, the comedian. A short break for some scenery shifting, and then we get I think it's the cast of Crazy for You, I think, doing a show number.
This is torture.
It is.
Yeah, I'm almost there.
Tortured by the villain.
It reminds me of the Goodies episode where they were put on trial for waking up the royal family during the Royal Variety performance.
Love the Goodies. Yeah.
I will get there in a minute. Blah blah blah.
So something will happen.
I'm going to miss them all because there's bloody loads of the things.
Oh no.
Oh yes, of course. I'll quickly skip past the is it Britain Got Talent winner? Somebody Van, I've already forgotten his bloody name. And Paloma Faith, who used to be good, but she just isn't anymore. After Paloma Faith, we have another video segment, which is again looking at musical theatre. Goes into something called Standing at the Sky's Edge, which I know nothing about, and then goes into the arena tour of Les Miserables. At which point we have Taboo, the masked escapologist.
Yeah.
And then I can hand you over to somebody with some more notes.
Right, there is a young man on stage in a Chinese robes. First performance he does is that he does the escape from the water tank, but with the added disadvantage of piranhas in the tank. Of course, it went over time. It's 3 minutes of hitting. You go to the 4 minutes. Somebody rushes onto stage with an axe. The curtain goes up, and the young man is standing on top of the cage, and the piranha are still inside, etc., etc. The cage is then removed, and while this is going on, he's tossing an egg into the air, and it vanishes in midair. Then a basketball is thrown at him. He catches it, tosses it up to your balcony, and asks one of you three to sign it for him, please. And you're willing to do that?
You're right.
Why not?
Right. So he asks you to toss it back down.
Citadel sign. Have I got a pen?
Well, there's
somebody will hand you a pen.
Somebody will hand you a pen.
I will sign it, Citadel.
It's fine. It's good. So you toss it back down, picks up the ball, and again tosses it into the air, and it vanishes. He then turns around, waits for a few seconds, looking rather quizzical at everyone, and walks over. And they start putting come onto stage with the performance. They lay a carpet across the stage. So a tall metal sheet is brought onto the stage, blocking all access between the two sides. And he asks for a member of the public to come on stage. A young lady comes up. She's blindfolded. Curtain comes down. A second later, this curtain goes back up. The girl is on one side of the stage, the opposite side of the stage, on the opposite side of the metal wall. And the young man is on the other side. They seem to have swapped places while the curtain was down in the seconds that took place.
Big round of applause.
Big round of applause. Then what happens then is that he then turns his back to the audience. While he's standing in front of the audience, there's people are coming on and starting to remove the props, and just a bunch of acrobats come on, start doing performances. There's a young girl is immediately thrown into the air, caught again, etc., etc. All this time he's standing in the front of the audience. He moves slightly off to one side. There's a blinding flash of light for just 1 second. Looks like one of the lighting has been hit by something that's happened. Then this girl again goes flying into the air. And a second later, he appears. The young man comes flying down, lands on the ground. He's also standing at the front. She turns around, and it's the girl that was thrown into the air. Takes his bow, etc., etc. Yes, it is all possible using his powers.
The crowd goes wild.
At which point, the ball suddenly reappears from the sky, comes dropping back down. He bounces it on the ground and tosses it back up to yourselves.
Bradley Walsh leads the applause onto stage. Curtain drops. That's the end of the first act, everybody. Obviously, I don't know how long the intermission is, probably about 20 minutes or so, but he's giving people that sort of information, asking you all then to be patient while everything gets ready for the second act. And don't forget to go and get your drinks from the bar. At that point, Sanctuary, and I've already ran over, so I don't want any responses from you at all. Sanctuary, you start to pick up, and this is no aspect of your power. This is just something to get you into it. You start to pick up thoughts of distress coming from people outside in the concourses away from the actual auditorium. And no, nothing will affect Citadel and Stronghold, but you will notice that your particular senses are showing a lot of sudden movement from many life forms out in the that's called your range will just about cover the foyer. There seems to be a sudden rush of people away from the foyer area, and you can sense more life forms coming into the foyer from the street. And just for the odd member in the top right-hand corner, backstage, you can hear screaming and shouting, and you begin to notice that something is not right backstage. I will just finish with overhead, unseen by any of you, the last of the Leonid meteor showers erupt in brilliant firework-type explosions across the heavens, bathing London in the last show of meteoric dust and atmospheric effects for the next 12 months. Gentlemen, thank you very much.
Thank you, Anne.
All I need to sort out is, Jay, when do you want to start up?
I'm going to suggest that you do the next session with yourself with this.
You sure?
Yeah. And then, as I said, we can then alternate between sessions after that. Chris, if you ever want to join an M&M session, you're more than welcome to do so.
Okay, thanks.
These are masterminds. I'll leave it to Antony to give you all the background, etc.
All right. When do we want to pick it up?
I don't know. I mean, did you think about whether we would do the second and fourth Tuesdays, or are we going to do it sort of every 2 weeks rather than, do you know what I mean? We can do this.
I had wondered whether you wanted to leave it fortnightly, but I don't mind. I will fit in with what Jay wants to do.
If we do M&M, if we're alternating with that and we're doing it fortnightly, it means, Chris, it'll be a month in between.
Yeah.
These sessions. Yeah.
I suggest we drop back on, because I mean, we've been doing the Mutants and Masterminds for quite a while now. We can easily drop back to once a month. And if it runs over, then we can take it at the next session.
I don't mind. I don't mind waiting.
We'll see how it goes. But let's do the next session with yourself. This.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when are you wanting to do that? 15th?
Do you want to leave it till the 15th? Is that the Tuesday?
I don't know when the next. Give me a second.
I haven't got a calendar either.
No, the 6th.
What, next Tuesday?
That was a Tuesday. Sorry, my apologies. 14th or the 28th.
So shall we start the 14th then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. 14th of January.
And then Mutants and Masterminds.
We'll do by the end of the month.
Yeah.
So the 28th.
Yeah, that's okay with you.
And then we'll alternate fortnightly Tuesdays after that, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then.
That's agreeable.
That's absolutely fantastic.
So 14th we're doing, is it?
Yeah.
14th then, if that's okay with everybody. Obviously just get in touch if we have any problems.
There always is something.
Yes.
So look, as you know, and I mean you may not, but I think you do. I'm awaiting surgery on my knee,
Oh right, okay.
and if I get that, then I'm not going to be able to walk around here.
Yes.
We're going to need to maybe sort out a new Zoom or Skype connection. Yeah.
Understood.
But so I'm looking into that now to try and kind of. I only just had the idea tonight that maybe it's an app that I can put onto my Amazon Fire Stick. I'll just have to look and see what apps are available for the Fire Stick.
Understood. Okay.
Right. Jay, what I might do is get in touch with you to see if you can, because I'd find that easy. I've got contact details for you and everything.
Yeah.
To see if you can, just give me a Skype call so I can.
Oh, yes, no problem with that. Happy to do that.
Yeah. All right.
Okie dokie. Well, if that's everything then, if you're all right as such.
Mm-hmm.
Looks
Right.
like it.
Thank you.
Then.
Yes, thank you.
Well, it just remains to say have a wonderful night. Enjoy the fireworks. Have a happy new year. And I must admit, I'll try to just put a little bit of information together before we get to the 14th, just to go over what's happened in this last 15 minutes.
Sex would be useful. I mean, I didn't know until the end of that Jay was actually a female. So things like that.
Actually, during the performance, he was a male.
No, I know, but like during the pub thing, yeah.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. But that's we don't need to be gender specific generally. It's fine.
No, but to be fair, most of the time you will know what sex you're up against. Yeah, I'll make sure that that sort of thing is given out. Okie dokie.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much indeed. Then I will.
Thank you, Ant.
I'll be in touch and I'll see you again on the 14th.
Yep, great.
Yeah.
Take care.
All right.
Okay then.
I'll be in touch soon.
It's lovely to
Thanks
meet
very
you.
much.
Happy New Year.
Stop recording.